All right, I'm going to show you three major problems that I have with CPA Site Solutions. And this is kind of a critical review of CPA Site Solutions as a website solution for accountants or websites for CPA firms. And CPA Site Solutions has been around for a long time. Just a quick thing, I'm a competitor of theirs. We want to build your website. We want to drive leads with Google Ads, with remarketing ads. We think we have a much better solution than what these guys have. So I'm totally going to show you what I think is not great about their solution. And specifically, there's three things that I really dislike about it. I'm going to show you and highlight that over here. So I have an agenda. I want you to call us for your accountant website or your CPA website, whether you're a big firm or a small firm. We really specialize in building some of the best websites out there that rank the highest, that convert customers, that actually work. And we have a process. I actually built an outsourced accounting firm where we had 150 small businesses paying us on average $750 to $1,500 a month. And I'm telling you, we know how to build websites that connect with people, cause them to take a step with you, and aren't just a bunch of gobbledygook. And that's what I'm going to dive in here just a little bit. So I actually have a website pulled up. This is when you search and Google websites for accountants, what you're going to find is CPA Site Solutions all over the place. So here's an example of their web, of their actual Google ad. We'll click on it here. We'll see what they look like. And as you navigate through to see their website, what you're going to find is that they've got a place in here where they show some case studies, and you can actually go look at what their websites look like. I always think it's kind of funny that their own site is not built on the same system that they build your site on. As a quick note, like, you don't get the same tool. It's not the same. So it's not good enough for them, but it's good enough for you. And then as you page over here, we'll just take a look at, like, this is Meryl J. Taylor's website on CPA Site Solutions. I'm sure she's a lovely person. I just searched her name. Here's her website right here. So this is the way it shows up in Google. And then as we go over here, here we go. So I'm just going to do a critique of this. I'm going to dive into three major problems that I have with CPA Site Solutions. And we'll just kind of look around just a little bit. So the first thing that I want you to know is that CPA Site Solutions is a template-based system. You understand this? They're super scalable. They've been around for a long time, and what they do is when you tell them you want a website, essentially what they do is they crank it on, and you get a couple different layers. There's some templates that they have you get to choose from, right? There's quite a few different templates, and as you choose the template, depending on how much you update or put in as custom information, that's what will be custom. But for the rest of this, what you're going to find is they have a big problem. When you do templates are duplicate content. And that doesn't jive very well with Google just in general. Now, there's no official, like, you're not breaking a rule or anything like that. But if you think about this, if you use a template, what's to prevent you from going out and getting a whole bunch of blogs from somebody else's website, putting them on your website, and then trying to pass them off as your own? Google wants you to have good solutions that are trustworthy, authentic, and original on your website to the questions and queries that people have. And if you do that, what happens is those blog posts actually get seen as great solutions. And then what happens is overall, it will say, hey, when people search the core commercial keyword, and the core commercial keyword is going to be like accountant near me, bookkeeper near me, payroll company near me, payroll services, outsourced accountant near me, CPA near me, CPA firms, business taxes, business accountants. When you search those, it's going to see your local Google My Business and your website and all of your content, and it's going to say this is the most trustworthy, good, authentic solution, and then it's going to serve you up as a solution. In fact, we can just show you what that would look like, right? The most important thing that you want to show up for is usually accountants near me. And in SEO, what you're going to find is you always have the paid search ads up on the top, right? And then after that, this is the most important place. Here's my old firm. I'm in Lakeville. Nick and Ed and those guys and our when we worked with our clients, we worked really hard so that we would dominate here in the Google My Business or the Google Local, and then underneath that you're going to have the organic search results. And all I will tell you is that this is what's going to matter the most is almost all of your keywords trigger this. And that's where you really get to win. So if you were to just try a different type of search here, a different search like this would be bookkeepers near me, a little bit different, and you'll see Google Ads, and then we've got the Google Local. And if you think about accountants near me, CPA near me, business CPA, business accountant, all of these have a little bit different search result. And the reason why, in fact, a lot of these guys, God bless Valley Tax and Accounting, but we're going to click on their ad here. This is their CPA Site Solutions website. So we promise to only use our superpowers for good: tax, bookkeeping, payroll. And as you get in here, you start to see a couple things. Now, to me, this does not abide by what I think is a high converting website. I'll hit on that real quick. I think that these websites are very much template based. They're very informational based. What this doesn't do is connect with me of what's my core problem. I mean, at least it's clear that I can see tax, bookkeeping, payroll, and consulting and planning. But what it doesn't do is it doesn't show me who they are. So I immediately want to go find out about and who they are. And that's not a very compelling about page, right? Your values. Okay, we are growing quickly. You don't do that by accident. That's about them. You do that by establishing and performing a set of core values. And then it kind of gets into these core values. But as you hop around here, you're going to see there's a similar structure to the site. It's basically you have a rich text box on the left, and then on the right, you've got a call to action form. And it doesn't matter which service you have. As you get into like QuickBooks or Homeowners Association, all you do is you turn on these things. But here's what's really funny. If we were to grab this is one of the major things I dislike about CPA Site Solutions. If you pull up the tool called Copyscape and you go into Copyscape, this is a plagiarism tool, and you put this website in here, what it'll do is it will search the internet and try and find other websites that have identical duplicate content that are competing for your search results. And my main theorem here is you are selling yourself short by using CPA Site Solutions. You should call us and get unique, actual good content built for you, rather than this kind of nonsense. In fact, I'll just show you. Here's a couple of the sites that we've built recently. We've got Stance, Tax and Accounting. I mean, we see him right there. We click on, we can see his reviews right away. We get down, we know, don't settle for a typical accountant. Get pristine financials you can count on. Never overpay in taxes again. Never waste time doing your own accounting. Get CFO level guidance. As you go through here, I can see who he is. I can connect with the problems that he actually does. And as we work through, I know exactly what it is that he does and who he is. And none of this is duplicate content. On the other hand, we just put in a simple services page. And what you'll see here is there are hundreds. What this did is it looked at accountpayable.php, their service page. And in here is every single page, every other accounting firm that has the exact same page. So this is all duplicate content. And if I were to do the premium account with Copyscape, it would show me a ton. Folks, if you do a CPA Site Solution website, it is duplicate content. In fact, I think that there's really three major problems with CPA Site Solutions. Like I just did that Google search for accounting website templates. And what you'll find is you start looking for accounting websites, accountant websites, and the first thing that's going to pop up is a Google ad for CPA Site Solutions. Like that's what you always see. And I despise CPA Site Solutions because it sells you one thing and then delivers another. And that's really what I'm trying to establish here. When you search for SEO for accountants, websites, CPA firms, or websites for bookkeepers, you'll see an array of hyper-optimized landing pages for CPA Site Solutions and heavily funded ads that they use. And it's because they've been around for a long time and they've gotten away with doing this. They kind of sell one thing and deliver on another. You end up with a website that is fine. It doesn't break any rules, but it's duplicate content. It's not optimized for actually converting people. And there's just a bunch of different problems. So you end up, I just want to address a couple of these things. Number one, is CPA Site Solutions good for SEO? Is a CPA Site Solutions website high converting? Will CPA Site Solutions generate leads with their social media posting? Does CPA Site Solutions help with local SEO? Like those are the big questions. Now, the number one reason why I don't like CPA Site Solutions is that there's duplicate content everywhere. They are a template that's dripping in duplicate content. If you use that common plagiarism tool called Copyscape, you'll see that with the exception of a small custom part on your homepage, almost the entire website is duplicate content. That exercise I just did, you can do that everywhere. And duplicate content means that it's identical to content on other websites. Google isn't in the business of serving up template content that's substantially the same as other content. It's not how it works. So you can learn more about that if you start searching around on duplicate content. Google has an article where it basically calls out and says why you should not be using duplicate content. It does not like it. And so let me show that to you over here. This is a really important thing for you to understand. I actually got a cease and desist letter from CPA Site Solutions about 6 years ago because I wrote a blog post that basically said why I don't think you should be considering it, why I don't think it's a good idea. And they basically said, because I claim that there's an official penalty against you for having duplicate content, they said, you must cease and desist. There's nowhere in Google's documentation. Well, if you look at the link in this video, what you'll see is that avoid creating duplicate content. Duplicate content generally refers to substantive blocks of content within or across domains that either completely match other content or in the same language or are appreciably similar. Mostly, this is not deceptive in origin. Examples of non-malicious duplicate content could include. So basically, it goes on to say how you're not supposed to do it. And when you do it, you're supposed to point it to the original content so that you can actually get through it, right? And not claim it as your own. And I'm telling you, folks, that actually helps their own SEO. So your website with CPA Site Solution is being built on duplicate content. That means Google will kind of gloss over most of your site and probably won't serve up many of those sub pages unless you were to search your actual business name. Like if you were to search bookkeeping services, your bookkeeping page is not going to show up because it's duplicate content. So that's the first reason. Now, number two, CPA Site Solution websites are terrible to customize. So, okay, if it's duplicate content, they'll argue that you can go in and actually customize it. So if you choose CPA Site Solutions, your website will be more likely to never look authentic, okay? It's just gonna look turnkey. In fact, if you start looking through all of those examples that I saw in that copyscape, like you can see them, they all look identical. And they don't really have engaging content to be in tune to your customers or their real problems or their real value proposition. It's all based upon the writers that they hire, and it's just not really good for your customer. It's not going to draw people in. So CPA Site Solutions claims that you can customize their site if you look into it, right? The pages allow you to update language slightly, but those changes, like they frequently lead to like destroying the aesthetic of the page. And all it is a rich text on the left with a call to action on the right, like where you can update it. If we show you here, if you take a look at all these websites, they're all basically rich text on the side, a whole bunch of paragraph, and on the right you have this, which is way different than creating big visual things for people to understand what you do, who you do it for, how it works. And you'll notice there's not like a really slick tool to show like your reviews. It's just not in there, and it should be in there. We just did, here's another example, Ninth Ocean Strategies, a new website that we just did. He does tax and accounting for medical professionals. And so here what we've got is very clear messaging. We have exactly what they do. It's built for surgeons, doctors, and 1099 medical professionals. This is unique looking. It actually looks nice. It works well. And you know, if you go to feedbackwrench.com, my website, and if you were to jump on our approach here, what you're going to find is that there's a thing where I show you what leads to a high converting website. And just ask yourself if what you're seeing from CPA Site Solutions actually does this, right? So, and this is my stuff. This is not like some official Google thing, but number one, I think it should be a clean and responsive design. Okay, maybe they have that. Authenticity. There should be an authentic look to your website. You should get there and understand. So here's one of their top websites that they're showing off, and that looks appreciably the same or just a little tweak different. There's nothing in here that has personality, a photo of the person. Like there's nothing that says, hey, I help medical professionals. It's always just template based, right? Good branding. You should have your own branding. Well, that's not what we have here. We just kind of have a color. It's not that far off. I'll give it to them there. And then a good user interface where stuff is in the right place so people can easily get to it. I think that's fine. But here's where it really fails. A good high converting website is going to have customer focused messaging. It's going to talk their language. It's going to be scannable and skimmable. People don't read paragraphs, they skim them. So everything must be clear and concise. It must be customer-focused messaging built on the problems that they are actually facing, not the services that you do. Your website is not about you. It's about them. You're the guide. They're the hero. And if you read a CPA Site Solution, I think we could argue day in and day out that it's always geared towards you, your services, and what you're doing. The sky is the limit. What does that mean? That's just clever. It's not really like see beyond the numbers. I mean, what do? You do bookkeeping, accounting, and tax. And what you see here is you've just got a whole bunch of small text, tax services, business services. None of this is clear. It's all crammed in. And this is their diamond level case study. That it's their number one case study they want to show you about. I know I'm being super cynical and super critical. Obviously they're a competitor, but they're huge, and it frustrates me how much they spend in advertising. And then they just come in and kind of deliver this lackluster tool, but they're cheap, but they're not going to lead to a great business where you dominate your industry, where you are able to actually convert and close customers, where you're going to rank really high in SEO, where you can run great ads that will actually convert. Taken over a whole bunch of these guys' ad accounts. They're just kind of weird. So, it's hard to customize. You can't really update it. And that's really because it's a template. And then they add some customizable fields inside of this template and think that actually matters. So while their templates are hard to update, the other thing that you'll see is they're not modern. They are old. In fact, this template right here has been around since we first started our firm. So that's 8 years ago. And it's still there, and they're just not modern looking, right? So not only do they look kind of pathetic, but they're always filled with stock imagery and outdated designs, right? That's really the big problem. So one major factor that leads to a high converting website is to have imagery and a user interface that has an authentic look and feel for your brand or your industry niche or your team, right? You're selling yourself short if you use a template that doesn't allow you to have highly optimized and authentically looking images, messaging, and everything, right? Now, number three, the third big reason why I think that CPA Site Solution is a terrible website and marketing solution is that you're on the hook for writing engaging content. Now, I'll get into this a little bit. So you're on the hook for writing engaging, good sales, copywriting, or brand scripting that's going to connect and move people, but then also for SEO down the road. They have these articles that they post, but these articles are duplicate content. And because they're duplicate content, they're not going to rank. So let's just assume that you're ready to update all the duplicate content on a CPA Site Solutions website. Let's just give them that. Okay, maybe it's a slick and easy thing. They have a portal tool. They got XYZ. I'll update everything. And you even work with their team to have it updated. You'll still be on the hook for writing engaging sales, copy, and brand scripting. And let me just tell you this. You're an accountant. Generally speaking, this is not what you're good at. If you are good at it, you don't need much of anybody really. But what we find is that most accountants struggle with sales, and they also have opportunities to improve in their skills of identifying value and conveying value propositions. Accountants already have a tendency to waste lots of their precious time on non-productive activities, and it's not a natural thing for them to commit to ever valuable prospecting and selling that's required, right? There are important things that you need to do, and it's already hard enough for you to do them. Accountants should be spending lots of their time developing their value proposition and their overall messaging, but they usually require coaching and guidance to get it right. So in CPA Site Solutions, you're going to have to do it yourself. You get a CPA Site Solution website and you decide to actually update that copywriting so it's not duplicate content, chances are that you're going to fall victim to the typical fails, and you're going to have to do all that sales copywriting. It's just not something you want to do. When you get a CPA website or a website for accountants or whatever you want to call it, and you get it from us, you're enlisting a team of highly skilled sales copywriters and myself, and I'm really good. I'm a positioning expert. We're going to position you, and we're going to design an amazing website. And I'm telling you, we will build a website that absolutely converts. And as we hop over here, if you just kind of take a look at, is this a top tier website? Is this something that's going to connect with people? It's an online business card. And I think that's fine, right? And they kind of do these piffy stock things. That's fine. Sky's the limit. What I think is you got to be dialed in to very clear messaging, right? So Ninth Ocean Tax and Accounting. Accounting, tax, and bookkeeping services for 1099 medical professionals. Never overpay in taxes or waste time doing bookkeeping, payroll, or year-end taxes again. We'll handle everything so that you can focus on your business. Accounting, tax, and bookkeeping is time-consuming and confusing. We'll be your outsourced accountants so you don't have to worry about anything. You and your staff shouldn't do accounting or bookkeeping. It's a poor waste of your highly specialized time and talents. It's a drainer on your productivity. You're usually pretty bad at it. You create messes that need to be fixed at year end. Year end is consumed by catch up and cleanup rather than tax reduction and reporting. Those are major problems for small businesses, right? They should not be doing it themselves. Instead of doing taxes, you're cleaning things up. So now we have another clear thing. Built for surgeons, doctors, and 1099 medical professionals. We've built our reputation serving the amazing professionals in the medical community. It's big. It's clear. We'll handle all the tax and accounting. We're a one-stop virtual accounting firm that empowers you to focus on your business and keep more of what you earn. What we'll do? Clean up the books. We'll clean your books to perfection. Reduce your taxes. We'll identify and implement every tax reduction loophole and strategy available. Handle the monthly books. Handle all the bookkeeping and accounting each week. Keep taxes on track. Pay in your taxes to stay on track and avoid surprises. Reports to improve. Track and improve revenue, profits, and cash flow with reports and dashboards. Confident you're not overpaying in taxes? Book a free tax analysis. Send us your tax return and we'll work hard to identify ways to reduce your taxes. Be certain you're not overpaying. Is your accountant too busy? We usually find thousands a year in savings. Now we're going to touch on a little bit different value proposition. Scale and grow a more profitable business. We provide year-round, proactive bookkeeping and accounting services at an affordable price that delivers tangible results. Never overpay in taxes. Get pristine financials. Never lift a finger. Here are some of the tax reduction strategies we'll utilize. We know the tax laws, loopholes, and strategies, and we'll deploy them perfectly while keeping you compliant. S-Corp, Section 179 and bonus depreciation, income shifting, hiring kids and spouses, small biz retirement plans, vehicles and equipment, aggressive and proactive. Our services. Now, each service is represented here, and it's represented with unique content. So if we go to tax return and tax preparation, what you see here is much more unique and much more engaging. Let's just compare them. Bookkeeping service, we'll go to tax prep, okay? So we'll go to small business accounting. I don't even know where to, tax services. Tax preparation for business. So let's just take a look at the difference here. Which one connects better? Which one's easier to follow? We specialize in business tax preparation. As a business owner, you're busy developing new ideas and making sure your business runs smoothly. Or over here we have tax returns and preparation. We're not your typical tax preparer. We're business specialists and we'll make quick work of your tax returns. Quick and affordable, tax reduction analysis, books cleaned up too. We're not your typical tax preparer. We're business specialists and we'll make quick work of your tax returns. Tax reduction analysis. We'll deep dive your tax returns to find opportunities to reduce taxes and strategies moving forward. Books cleaned up too. We can do all the bookkeeping catch up so your taxes are easily done. Or so your taxes are really easy. So that's what we've got instead of plowing into a giant paragraph. Now you have what we do for you. State and federal income tax preparation, local and state tax sales compliance, state and federal payroll tax, develop tax planning strategies that save you money. So maybe they're kind of doing the same thing, but they're not visual. And when I see this, people skim this. They don't look for this. The other big problem that we have, let's just jump in here, guys. Let's take a look. Do you think we got duplicate content here? So again, Google doesn't want us to do duplicate content. Let's go find out if Copyscape shows duplicate content on this service. And here's why this is super important. These services pages are going to serve as the primary tool for how you will show up when you search bookkeepers in Lakeville. You know, bookkeeping for medical professionals. Now, we just did this website. There's no way this is showing up right away. But in order for you to show up here, you need to have that. You actually have to have those pages and have them dialed in, right? So this works for your industry niches and it works for your locations, but these service pages are really important and they need to do the heavy lifting on their own. So when we look here, look at all of this. These are all duplicate content. I don't even know where to start. We take care of your books for you so that you can back the job. I mean, there's a ton of duplicate content on here. These pages all have, now they might be small things. We take care of your books so you can get back to the job. What this does is each one of these pages are identically written. They're not unique, and that matters to your small business because Google doesn't love it and it doesn't connect with people. It really doesn't work that well. So as you go through here, these pages are all kind of filled with the exact same stuff, right? They're all just kind of rehashed. They're not really duplicate or they're not unique content. It's just lots of the same stuff here. And as you go through here, everything in red is all duplicate content. And so you got to ask the question, do you want to build a business that scales and becomes super valuable and creates a steady flow of clients into you? If you want a business that can be sold at a high multiplier when you get older, you need to have a website that builds credibility, that ranks for tons of local keywords, that creates a steady stream of clients coming in, because when you have a steady stream of clients, you get to cherry pick and choose the higher billing ones. Like, that's the key to having a high profitability practice, is that you have to grow and become huge. Not only that, like, you have to ask yourself, are you going to build something based on like the individual services like they're doing, or are you going to do this outsourced accountant model? So I think when you look at our service pages, when you look at what you've got going on here, even down to the lead magnets here, you're going to find that our websites just almost always have a much better look and feel to them. This is a brand new website. We don't even have any reviews to show off. Our services are done better. Everything's just done cleaner. There are other good solutions out there for accountants, but we think we'll take great care of you. I don't think CPA Site Solutions is a very good solution at all. Good luck. God bless. And to those of you at CPA Site Solutions, I hope this just causes you to get better and provide a better solution to accountants. They deserve better than your template tool. Good luck and God bless.